we got our first snow. So nice to be able to work in a warm shop. So now we are rinsing with hot water to get all of the rust dissolver out. Here's the debris we caught from the hot water rinse. This is the degreaser that we put in there. When we were rinsing with water, it was coming out clean. So this stuff managed to dissolve a lot more. I think I've got all of the rust out, and what we're seeing in there now is some kind of tank liner or paint that someone has previously put inside this tank. I think I'm going to try and get some paint stripper in there and see if we can strip that out and get this down to bare metal everywhere. So I've got some acetone sitting in here, and I'll come back in, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so. The acetone is definitely working. We're getting a lot more gunk out of there. I know it doesn't look like much, but we are making some progress. We're getting cleaner and cleaner each time. So I'm under the car replacing this front flexible brake line. I've got the old one off, getting ready to put this new one on, but it needs to go through this bracket, and the hole is just a little too small for it to seat. So we're going to drill that hole out. Testing for smooth travel, making sure that this brake hose won't get snagged on anything or kink. And it looks like everything's going to work out just right. The solid brake hose ended up being just a little short, so here I'm making a new brake line. So I cut it to size, slide the nut on. Here I'm going to do a double flare on it. So we put this little piece in there, and that forces the tubing inside itself. So we crank that down and it'll force it in. Then we pull that back out, take that little die out of there, and you see it started to squeeze in. Now we'll go ahead and flare it the rest of the way, so this will push it all the way in and create the flare, and that flare is what seals the brake line. So we get that all nice and snug, and now we have a clean flare ready. And so now we have our new hard brake line, and here's showing compared to the old one. With the new line, that old one just ended up being just a little short on that, and so we've got a new line we can now put in. And then it's just a matter of getting it in place and tightening those nuts. So with the front flexible lines all complete, we can now put the tires back on and set the car back down on its wheels again. Make sure we get all the lug nuts tight, and there we are. It can roll on its own wheels again. And of course, those disc brakes look really nice in there.